Public limited companies are similar to private limited companies, but they are able to sell shares to the public. A private limited company can be converted into a public limited company by 1. A statement in the Memorandum of Association must be made so that it says this company is a public limited company. 2. All accounts must be made public. 3. The company has to apply for a listing in the stock exchange. A prospectus must be issued to advertise to customers to buy shares, and it has to state how the capital raised from shares will be spent. Pros: limited liability. Continuity. Potential to raise limitless capital. No restrictions on transfer of shares. High status will attract investors and customers. Cons: many legal formalities required to form the business. Many rules and regulations to protect shareholders, including the publishing of annual accounts. Selling shares is expensive, because of the commission paid to banks to aid in selling shares and costs of printing the prospectus. Difficult to control since it is so large. Owners lose control when the original owners hold less than 51% of shares. Control and ownership in a public limited company. The annual general meeting, AGM, is held every year and all shareholders are invited to attend so that they can elect their board of directors. Normally, director are majority shareholders who has the power to do whatever they want. However, this is not the case for public limited companies since there can be millions of shareholders. Anyway, when directors are elected, they have the power to make important decisions. However, they must hire managers to attend to day-to-day decisions. Therefore, shareholders own the company, directors and managers control the company. This is called the divorce between ownership and control. Because shareholders invested in the company, they expect dividends. The directors could do things other than give shareholders dividends, such as trying to expand the company. However, they might lose their status in the next AGM if shareholders are not happy with what they are doing. All in all, both directors and shareholders have their own objectives. Cooperatives are a group of people who agree to work together and pool their money together to buy bulk. Their features are, all members have equal rights, no matter how much capital they invested. All workload and decision-making is equally shared. A manager may be appointed for bigger cooperatives. Profits are shared equally. The most common cooperatives are producer cooperatives, just like any other business, but run by workers. Retail cooperatives provides members with high-quality goods or services for a reasonable price. Other notable business organizations, close corporations. This type of business is present in countries such as South Africa. It is like a private limited company, but it is much quicker to set up, maximum limit of 10 people. You only need a simple founding statement which is sent to the registrar of companies to start the business. All members are managers, no divorce of ownership and control. A separate legal unit has both limited liability and continuity. Cons: the size limit is not suitable for a large business. Members may disagree just like in a partnership. Joint ventures: two businesses agree to start a new project together, sharing capital, risks and profits. Pros: shared costs are good for tackling expensive projects. E.g. aircraft, pooled knowledge. E.g. foreign and local business, risks are shared. Cons: profits have to be shared. Disagreements might occur. The two partners might run the joint venture differently. Franchising: the franchisor is a business with a successful brand name that recruits franchisees, individual businesses, to sell for them. E.g. McDonald's, Burger King. Pros: for the franchisor, the franchisee has to pay to use the brand name. Expansion is much faster because the franchisor does not have to finance all new outlets. The franchisee manages outlets. All products sold must be bought from the franchisor. Cons: for the franchisor, the failure of one franchise could lead to a bad reputation of the whole business. The franchisee keeps the profits. Pros: for the franchisee, the chance of failure is much reduced due to the well-known brand image. The franchisor pays for advertising. All supplies can be obtained from the franchisor. Many business decisions will be made by the franchisor: prices, store layout, products. Training for staff and management is provided by the franchisor. Banks are more willing to lend to franchisees because of lower risks. Cons for the franchisee: less independence, may be unable to make decisions that would suit the local area. License fee must be paid annually and a percentage of the turnover must be paid. Public sector: public corporations, a business owned by the government and run by directors appointed by the government. These businesses usually include the water supply, electricity supply, etc. The government give the directors a set of objectives that they will have to follow, to keep prices low so everybody can afford the service, to keep people employed, to offer a service to the public everywhere. These objectives are expensive to follow, and are paid for by government subsidies. However, at one point the government would realize they cannot keep doing this, so they will set different objectives, to reduce costs, even if it means making a few people redundant. To increase efficiency like a private company. To close loss-making services, even if this means some consumers are no longer provided with the service. Pro: some businesses are considered too important to be owned by an individual. Electricity, water, airline, other businesses, considered natural monopolies, are controlled by the government. Electricity, water, reduces waste in an industry. E.g., 2 railway lines in one city, rescue important businesses when they are failing. Provide essential services to the people, e.g. the BBC. Cons: motivation might not be as high because profit is not an objective. Subsidies lead to inefficiency. It is also considered unfair for private businesses. There is normally no competition to public corporations, so there is no incentive to improve. Businesses could be run for government popularity. Municipal enterprises: these businesses are run by local government authorities which might be free to the user and financed by local taxes. E.g., street lighting, schools, local library, rubbish collection. If these businesses make a loss, usually a government subsidy is provided. However, to reduce the burden on taxpayers, many municipal enterprises are being privatized.